Back in 2014, I went to a restaurant here in Idaho Falls and went to get food, me and a couple friends, and there was a guy there. I remember him being very irritated. He kept walking back and forth, and then he kept looking at us, and he finally walks up to me, and he said that I messed up his sister's birthday, and I have no clue who he was. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, and he then just started getting really aggressive, and he stabbed me 4 times. And they told me if he was about an inch and a half over more, he would have gotten my lungs. But I only spent a day in the hospital. When I got out, I spoke with the detectives. They had me apply for special crimes victims compensation, and the judge awarded it to me. And I then ran it to ERMAC and gave them a copy of it. They said, okay, kind of left it at that. Time went on. I got a bill in the mail, and I opened it, and it was a medical bill. And I remember I went right away to my case manager for Special Crimes Victims Unit. Her name was Pam. And I went to her office, gave it to her, and she's like, okay, we'll take care of it. We'll send over the payment. That was the end of it after that. So I thought was the end of it. And then 4 years later, and one day my dad called me, and he's like, oh, there's a note on the door. And I seen that it said that it was from Jefferson County, that they were serving court papers to me, and that I was being sued. And I kind of started panicking, and I rushed over there, met the officer, got the paper, started reading through it. It said medical debt recovery services was suing me for X amount of dollars. I think it was like $3,000 or something like that. I didn't know what it was. I kept thinking, like, what is this bill from? Like, what? I haven't been to the hospital, nothing. And then I call the hospital. I'm like, hey, our emergency physicians, I called them and started talking to a lady. I think her name was Gabby. And she was going through the history of me being in the hospital. And she's like, were you stabbed? I'm like, yeah. She's like, there's a bill here that didn't get paid for. And she read off the number of the bill. And I was like, oh yeah, that's what they're saying that I'm getting sued for. I'm like, that's it. So then I started panicking. So I'm closing in my house. And the bank, so when I first found out that I was getting served, the bank actually called that day and like, hey, you have such and such on your credit report. We're not going to be able to give you the loan. So that's what made me really panic. I tried talking to the bank, letting them know what was going on. So they told me that they were putting a hold on my stuff, so I figured it out. And so they sent the bill to my insurance, because I had insurance through Blue Cross from work. And the insurance got the claim, rejected it because they were asking for an EOB, exclamations of benefits. And so when emergency physicians got that rejection and what they were requested for, they ended up sending the EOB to Special Crimes Victims compensation. Compensation got it, and they're like, we don't know what this is. Sent it back. Emergency physicians got it again and left it at that. Didn't send it to anybody. And so she's like, we dropped the ball. So she's like, I'm gonna call our billing manager and let her know what's going on. She calls her and she's like, okay, yep, we got it noted in your file to stop the suing. The manager's gonna call the attorneys that are suing you and tell them to stop, and we should be good. Gabby calls me back and she's all like, so they don't want to stop the suing. They said they already put time into it and they want it. Like, they're not gonna stop. I'm like, even though you're telling them to stop, even though you hired them, and I called down to that attorney that was suing me, and I told him like the situation, and he told me that he didn't care. Their bill that they were charging was higher than the medical bill. And it just doesn't make sense and just doesn't seem right. There was a lot of nights I didn't sleep. I was very tired. I wouldn't eat. Just kept thinking of that because we were so excited for the home, and the baby was on the way, and for it to be thrown, like going down the drain over something that I was a victim of, and it wasn't my fault. I do believe doctors deserve to be paid, but the problem wasn't the doctors, it was the attorney fees. It was the attorneys. Those guys were the problem. They're really evil people. I think they have no heart. I think that they don't even want to listen to the situation. I just think they want money any way they can and can't get it, and however they get it. I mean, just the few times that I talked to that place, they're just ruthless people.